The hardcore State of Decay 2 Survivor games grind on. A trio of seasoned veterans step forward with the hopes of overcoming this latest challenge. Allow me to introduce them. Ateukong. Something of both an athletic tough guy and a complete nerd, Ateukong Ekpo is a distinguished bulldozer class that took part in 2 completely flawless runs. Let's hope his luck holds out in this latest fight. Mazzie. Recruited as part of a trio of moonshiners, workaholic Madison Mazzie Wheeler became a Tempest class to carve a name for herself. Many of her old friends are still around, and maybe she'll make more friends yet. Steve. The most recent of my legacy pool to be recruited, Stephen Robinson was part of the Blood Donor trio as their driver. Another distinguished survivor, but this time as a Seeker class, making him as fast as he is methodical. These 3 are taking on the challenge of No Infirmary, which is very self-explanatory. No passive healing of any kind allowed. And this includes Blood Plague. Even worse, they're starting on Trumbull Valley, arguably the hardest map in the game, certainly the largest, and with the worst starting base. However, there is a chance a plague cure could spawn in the map landmark, and Lord knows that'll be welcome relief. Another relief is this scenario starts at nightmare difficulty, so there'll be no blood fells to push infection higher, but with constant negative and extreme curveballs also going on, anything can happen. We take the abysmally bad first home, I do a quick inventory take, and I don't believe this. All 3 of them had 3 cases of bulk plague cure. All 3! I swear, I don't plan this, and what happens is random. But having so much plague cure defeats the point of the run. So I've made a special rule that they can't use it or sell it. It'll just have to sit in the inventory for the entirety of the game. Taunting them. They're doing fine for guns though. I've always been a collector of the best guns because I just like them. Optimization be damned. We start off by sending Bulldozer Ateukong, henceforth called Kong, to loot nearby areas for anything that might help us out. He also gets to work on the starting mission and radioing in a new enclave. There's no denying Kong is an athletic type. Surviving in the zombie apocalypse is a great way to keep fit, but even before the Horde showed up he took excellent care of himself. Kong is indefatigable with more stamina and less fatigue, and he's also a responsible eater, lightening the burden on the community. But he was also a schoolboy nerd. When not exercising his indefatigability, he was studying or reading comics, and he became so versed his 5th skill is in contributing geek trivia to the team. I can only imagine that as a youth he was a massive dork before being blessed by the puberty gods. I'm prepared to bet the girls that bullied him really regretted what he grew up into. Some people just naturally blossom. I'm still waiting on my own glow up. Any day now. Kong does a great job getting us up to speed, but it isn't long before he takes a hit from our Scarlet buddies. This Blood Plague bar is going to rule over these 3. It's highly unlikely we'll find any plague cure, except all of that, during the course of the run, so we need to be more careful. The looting goes on and then... Oh, okay, that makes things less tense. I didn't think plague cure organically spawned, but maybe that's just in lethal zone? I don't know. But I'm going to try and not use it anyway. But it seems that gifts from Destiny just keep coming. Kong finds an ambulance in the field. With excellent carry capacity, it's one of the best looting vehicles in the game, and we can upgrade it. Steve, as a paramedic, is no stranger to ambulances, so much so that he can radio in an EMT vehicle on command. Knowing this during my last run, I loaded him with 2 heavy vehicle upgrade kits. So not an hour or so in, I have a Vandito, one of the best vehicles in the game. Kong works well into the night looting and surveying and getting us started, but all too soon exhaustion starts to affect him and we switch out. Now it's Mazzie's turn to play, and I have a special job for her. While Kong was doing his thing, the curveballs kicked up, and this includes Out for Blood, Faster and stronger zombies. Normally I'd just avoid this area, but this event has awakened the Plague Heart, who will now start pumping out infestation hordes. I'd rather nip it in the bud now, so we load up. We do take a smidge of damage by being very careless and unnecessary, but Mazzie then lucks out with this. With the momentum up, we keep going. I tried to cheese this one, but I'm not sure if I can fit the Bandito through this passage. I'd rather not cheese it anyway. And things are going very well until this. What the hell was that? I want to see that again. Is this karma for the easy first heart kill? Unbelievable. We still get the second heart, and Mazzie now starts the looting. Why did I choose Mazzie for this? Besides being a Tempest with the powerhouse cardio skill making her better at Plague Heart Assault, she also has this. Very nice. As bad as that bite was, it could have been worse if the boys had been chomped. Her two teammates might be distinguished characters, but it's infection resistance that'll give you an edge in this scenario, or at least ensure you'll be doing most of the hard work. I'm glad we found that cure now, and it's certain she'll be the one to use it to maximise her usefulness. As I stated, she was a moonshiner with a bunch of others and is no stranger to hard work anyway. She's a migrant worker with good habits, like brewing illegal booze. But her session is cut short when this quest rolls in. I'm not that concerned over building materials, but I know this quest gives us a lot of them, and I also want to level up Kong to hero for his bonus. Unfortunately, I need to enlist Steve as a travel companion, which I always hate, but how hard can it be? Things do not go according to plan. It's deep into plague territory, there's a jug right there, and I can't even find the freaking materials. A bad feeling comes over me and I choose to abort. Get away as quickly as possible so they despawn and don't eat my moron AI companion. It doesn't seem to be working, so I drive all the way back to base and switch character to abandon the quest. But it still doesn't seem to be working. What the hell? Luckily I can switch now, so I just switch and... This is the State of Decay 2 equivalent of owning a dog, have it run away, then return covered in shit. I don't believe this. I'll just have to wait until Steve gets fully infected, then use that bloody syringe we found. What a joke. Oh well, I didn't like that cure anyway. Ah, and another thing, here's a freaking sheriff. I could have sworn I'd vetted out the sheriffs of the selection process because you need to build a field hospital. I swear this game keeps changing things behind the scenes. Well, Steve can never be leader then. Guess who just became expendable? I want to see if I can get another plague cure. It's better to loot when not in plague territory, so Mazzie is loading up again to take down the hearts. I actually cheese this plague heart in the shed. I'll show how for anyone that doesn't know. Shameful, I admit, but who cares. The second fight is more eventful, but soon I take that as well. I can't take the landmark outpost because the advanced biochem station is not allowed, but we can still search, and there's no additional plague cure here anyway. However, there was some excellent loot elsewhere. I picked up stimulants and fuel bombs and medkits and materials. Mazzie loads up and goes back to base. Steve now takes over to loot in recently cleared zones. Although I'm still angry at him for his inability to not be diseased, he's still a good survivor. Steve was a professional, and he's a nice fellow to boot. He was forced to kill his cop brother after he turned, but many survivors have had similar experiences. What is... This is such garbage right here. Fine, be like that. Absolute pain in the... yeah, take his severed head. All cleared areas have now been looted, so we need more safe space to steal. We send Mazzie back out, and we'll build a fighting gym to boost our health. The heart goes down, we take the medical outpost even though we can't do anything with the meds, and we undergo a massive looting spree for all sorts. The fighting gym is ready to boost our health, and we swap out for Kong, given he can load up more. Before long, we've drained the entire area dry, and are looking for another challenge. However, an old friend makes an appearance. A new enclave, a random siege that I was sloppy against, a useless trader, outlaws passing through, a little more looting, and all with a dodgy motor. But then this happened. Well, thank God the brakes work, but I can't back up. I can't accelerate back up a hill. Panic time. There's an enclave nearby that might distract him as I run back. Smooth like babies. But it's just occurred to me that this group of survivors have called themselves the Survivors. Yeah, that's really creative, guys. Well done. Basic or not, we're making good progress, and so I send out Steve to raid the northwest corner of the map for anything we can use. He does an excellent job and only takes minor superficial damage for at least 15 minutes, until...
If I don't get medical help, illness will be the least of my concerns.
We've got to get back to the base. And we do. In about a minute. I was hoping that would be more tense. And yes, I've now used that plague cure, but finding it was bullshit, and the event that caused Steve to get that infected in the first place was bullshit, so I guess it evens out. I may as well get the final plague card to clear all of the northwest. I load Mazzie up, but then... Delayed journey or not, it's practically a flawless victory against the Plague Heart, and we get more good news. This is such a breath of fresh air. Unless you felt it yourself, you have no idea. I take this opportunity to help an enclave on the other side of the map. That gives us dinner theatre. Well worth it. And now it's time for a leader quest. We found a building site to help us near that same enclave. The bad news is, it's in Marshall. For anyone that doesn't know, this is the hardest part of the hardest map. Zombie spawn rates always seem higher here, and the roads are partially blocked with wreckages, making it likely you'll get stuck, or damage your car on the Zeds, or maybe even an opportunistic bloater. This area also has many tall buildings giving poor line of sight, so unless you're running the scouting wit skill, it's likely you'll be blindsided by a cheeky feral. There are great looting opportunities down here, but this is the sharpest claws of plague territory. Mazzie has her plus 50% infection resistance and is currently only at 33% disease, but I can feel the dread surge through me as I approach this notorious location. What horrors will I encounter here? Yeah, that's how you build tension. I hate this game. Don't mind me, everyone, I'll just Austin Powers my way to sweet victory. For fuck's sake! And no, I refuse to use the stuck radio command. With more careful driving, I arrive at the site. Marshall upholds its reputation as I'm quickly swarmed and take a bit more plague damage. I can't secure the site because it's in plague territory, and I really don't want to go back, load up, take out the plague heart and secure this site. I'm good for building materials now. I filled up the boot in the Mirage I got so many, so I'm abandoning this noise. I finish the quest honourably, scoring influence as I go, but I still have other plague hearts to take out. Yet in my misadventures, Mazzie's infection rate is now above 50%. I need to be more careful, so I really lock and load and fight on. I'm okay. We get stage 1 done and then retreat to do this more safely. A slight interface glitch, but it still counts. I take an ammo outpost in West Marshall and switch Mazzie out. A huge area is now ready for looting, so I ready the bulldozer to clean up. One cool event I documented with Kong is he had an insane near-death experience. In his third run, his car got stuck and blew up. There was fighting, and he wound up with blood plague, and had to run 500 meters to the nearest place to get cure. He had less than 30 seconds left, but that run wound up being flawless. The minefield makes the whole process of looting West Marshall much safer. I even cleared the gargantuan juggernaut curveball. But when heading out again, I found this. What the hell? Why were they carrying these great weapons? I don't understand. So there's this pair of jugs that... Okay, I could have worded that better.
But not about the jugs.
No. We have to be firm on the jugs.
And the jugs have to be very firm.
But yeah, a pair of jugs. A heavily armed pair of jugs. Oh, I'll take it. Gladly. Unfortunately, I get very sloppy and now Kong is also about 50% infection. I absolutely massacre this band of ransackers who clearly had no idea whose turf they were on and steal all their stuff. Steady on now. We're still in Marshall. I unload my spoils back at the ammo outpost and swap out to Steve. With no infection, he'll be on the front line from now on. Still, I'd rather keep him safe, so we go back to safe heart disposal. Oddly enough, the flashbangs worked here. Jobs are good. In hindsight, I could have positioned my car better for this one and saved myself some nicks, but we're still making progress. Steve spends the night going all over the map looting and setting us up for victory, and aside from a few miscalculations, he's okay at about 25%. But I have another leadership quest to undergo. Fingers crossed. Someone else wants a plague heart dead, so we load up. It's a rough battle, but it gets done. Note a surprise. I swear this gets worse and worse the further I go. Maybe this medical outpost has a plague cure? No. Swapping out for Kong, we almost immediately get a radio call. Her name is Ali, and she wants us to kill some people, so we set off. At this point, everyone has killed so many people it's no big deal to us. I'm not allowed followers though, so I need to finish the quest as quickly as possible. But as I drive by the bounty broker, I notice something. Or rather, I don't notice something. Where is he? In thousands of hours, I've never seen this before. Very odd. We reach the destination, kill them, and I have to save Ali before she asks for a place in my organisation. We certainly could use a mechanic, so we set off. When we get home, I find she's a bubbly sort, but more to the point, I quickly train her by building repair kits. Why? Maximum community skills bestow buffs, and with the auto mechanics, one of the best 5th skills, we get this bonus. Very useful for a map this size. I also need a 4th community member for something later, but first I need to sort out radio silence. I swap for Steve, who apparently has had enough of this shit, and head off. Another close call. No Infirmary is really having a psychological effect. We secure the tower, but a little fight breaks out, and where the hell did that horde come from? There was nothing there a moment ago. Taking no chances with our only survivor with less than 50% infection, I just shoot them all. Steve keeps up the looting for a few more hours yet, avoiding the gunky zombies and eventually looting to a point where I feel we'll be okay. I know the longer this fight goes on, the riskier it is, and I'd really rather not push my luck. 6 hearts left. The current infection level hangs over all of us like the sword of Damocles. Mazzie and Kong aren't in the best shape, but I can afford to take some risks with Steve if I have to. I load up with my explosives and fire. I roll up to a heart amid the gunk zombies, but I can't throw the bombs and be safe here. Well, remember that E-gear I found? With an advanced brake we can... clean as a whistle. A nearby enclave needs help moving, so I drop by. A good thing I did, given that horde. Gunk zombies are still an issue, and the enclave takes some pain. They want to move, and I don't blame them. A bit of shooting, and back to the plague hearts. In hindsight, I could have saved ammo here, but oh well. 2 2 more fall, and I'm honestly taken aback by how easy this is. We get hit by the missing a few bolts curveball, but there was a reason I cleared this area. With our 4th member, we take a new base and clear the curveball. But no rest for the wicked. We knock back some black coffee, use the ammo we got from the Pepper's AK courtesy of the pair of jugs. Fuck it, yeah, a wazzo pair of jugs.
You're right, a wazzo pair of jugs it is.
We aggressively ignore all of the Trumbull Valley quests and hunt the last few hearts. It's in a place we can't take out safely, but a smoke grenade and some fire get most of the job done. Before I know it, I'm on the last heart and we've got all we need to finish the job. But this one is in a very awkward position and we're still not taking chances with the Plague Zeds, so I need to play this intelligently. After some running and burning, I just go full auto at close range and pop. Plague Zeds are dead anyway, so who cares? I spend the hours of fresh dawn looting as much crap as I can for any rare treats before I return to base and give Steve a well-deserved break.
I'll just be tired forever.
I'd been improving my base for the past few assaults, and now begins that part of the run where you just wait. Normally, I'd take this opportunity to load up my best characters with the best stuff. But upon looking at this run, I feel this takes some of the edge off future runs, so I leave 4 slots unloaded. However, I still give all 3 of them their bulk plague cures back. Seems silly to leave them behind. I reflect on this run with some fear. It was a comfortable win, but looking at the finer details gives me doubts. We constantly saw curveballs like thick-skinned, heightened senses and strange mutations, but we could easily avoid the areas they were in effect because Trumbull Valley is so big. It was only an issue a few times, such as the gunk zombies, but that aside, curveballs didn't hurt much here. Of course, being on Nightmare Zone made the game much easier as well, and if we're going to take on lethal, we'll need to be even more cautious if we want to avoid a fatality. Meanwhile, leader quests eventually pop up.
Alright, that's underway. It'll take a little time to finish.
Oh, that was easy. Now, waiting. I'll be honest, this run was ultimately sloppy. There were some poor decisions, unnecessary risks, failure to utilise my excessive loot, and I could have finished it a good hour or so earlier if I pushed the boat out. Oh hell, the job's nearly done. Now the plebs are coming to my home and we let every single one in on the off chance any rogue plague Zeds will bite them instead of my main 3 come the final siege. I hope they don't mind that we only use homeopathy here. Like clockwork, the bad guys show up. And we defeat the game. I'm glad all 3 survivors are going home, but lessons will have to be taken from this run. I hope anyone still watching likes and subs, and please leave a comment. I really get a kick out of engaging with people and getting feedback to do better. The next video will be a new trio on a no vehicles run. So, quite literally, a run. Ugh.